Welcome to the 700 Club, and thanks so much for joining with us. Israel is defending its attacks on government targets in Syria. Prime Minister Netanyahu says they're necessary to secure Israel's border and to protect Druze minorities in southern Syria.
In Gaza, an Israeli tank shell accidentally hit a Catholic church, prompting the Prime Minister to issue a statement of regret. Chuck Holton reports.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is doubling down on Israel's recent strikes in Syria, calling them both defensive and strategic. The attacks came after days of brutal fighting in Sweda between Syrian regime forces and Druze militias. Israeli warplanes struck key regime installations, including the Syrian Defense Ministry in Damascus.
We have a commitment to keep the southwestern Syria area as a demilitarized zone on the Israel border. We will not allow a situation to return where a second Lebanon is established there, and we are also committed to protecting the Druze residents.
Following the strikes, Syrian troops began pulling out of Sweda overnight under a new truce brokered by the U.S., Turkey, and Arab states. Interim President Ahmad al-Sharaa addressed the Druze population directly in a televised message.
We assure you that protecting your rights and freedom is our priority, and we reject any attempt aimed at dragging you into an external side or causing division within our ranks.
But tensions remain high. Human rights groups say over 500 people were killed in the recent fighting. Druze militias are reportedly carrying out revenge attacks on Bedouin villages that supported the regime, and Syrian forces are preparing to return to the area. And Turkey's President Erdogan blasted Israel's involvement.
Israel, using the Druze as a pretext, has extended its banditry to our neighbor Syria over the past 2 days. I want to say this once again, clearly and plainly. Israel is a lawless, ruleless, unprincipled, spoiled, indulged, and frenzied terrorist state.
In Gaza, Israel is under renewed scrutiny after IDF tank fire accidentally hit the only Catholic church in Gaza, killing 3 people. The IDF says Hamas had been operating nearby, but confirmed civilian casualties.
I say this with the same breath. The army does everything to prevent harm to innocent people. Every case like this is thoroughly investigated.
President Trump reportedly pressured Netanyahu directly over the incident. Hours later, Netanyahu issued a public statement expressing regret. Church leaders have also spoken out.
The news we are receiving at this time is saddening, and its symbolic significance also causes us pain. A church has been attacked, a priest wounded, there are innocent victims. We must also remember that this church was watched over with care, affection and fondness by Pope Francis.
And Ambassador Mike Huckabee is accusing Israel of delaying visas for Christian tour groups. He's threatening reciprocal actions unless the issue is addressed quickly. From Jerusalem, I'm Chuck Holton for CBN News.
Well, it is surprising to me that Israel would restrict tourists right now. I think they need the revenue more than ever, and so it's a real puzzle that Ambassador Huckabee has to make that kind of announcement. Turning to southern Syria, it's a bold move for Israel to create a demilitarized zone and do so to protect the Druze that live there. To have Turkey come after Israel for that is great irony to me, because they've essentially taken over northern Syria, and their incursions to fight the Kurds have been repeated over the years, and it's just incredible to hear him. He wants to take Syria, and that's clearly his ambition. He also wants to take Lebanon. He wants to restore the Ottoman Empire. All these nations were created in the aftermath of World War I, and Lebanon and Syria were portioned off and put under the, I guess, the colonial rule, if you want to call it that, of France for a very long period of time. Saudi Arabia was created by the Brits, Iraq as well as Jordan. And then under the British mandate, there was a design to create a Jewish state. All of this now is in flux. The map is being redrawn. If Israel is serious about a DMZ in southern Syria, you're probably going to hear them try to do that as well in Lebanon. So things are rapidly changing. It's also a mark of what's going to happen in Gaza, and hopefully this war can end very quickly and the hostages can be released, and Hamas can finally be defeated. But this is incredible times. We're literally seeing history being rewritten in our day. In other news, President Trump is taking a major step to tamp down the Jeffrey Epstein controversy. George Thomas has that story and more from the CBN Newsroom. George?
Thank you, Gordon. The president, as you said, is urging the attorney general to unseal grand jury records from the Epstein case. Posting on Truth Social last night, I have asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. The AG's quick response: President Trump, we are ready to move to court tomorrow to unseal the grand jury transcripts. Earlier this week, the president called the controversy a hoax cooked up by Democrats.
Can you clarify which part of the Epstein hoax is the hoax part?
The president is referring to the fact that Democrats have now seized on this as if they ever wanted transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, which is an asinine suggestion for any Democrat to make. The Democrats had control of this building, the White House, for 4 years, and they didn't do a dang thing when it came to transparency in regards to Jeffrey Epstein and his heinous crimes.
The president's move seen as a response to growing pressure from Republicans who want the Epstein files released. The Attorney General is expected to file a motion today for release of the testimony, but the decision is up to the judge. President Trump is now threatening to sue the Wall Street Journal over a report about a racy birthday card he allegedly sent Epstein back in 2003. The president says he did not send the card. An update now on the president's health. The White House announced he's been diagnosed with a condition caused by insufficient blood flow to the legs. CBN Washington correspondent Jenna Browder has details.
Chronic venous insufficiency. That's the diagnosis for President Trump. The administration releasing a letter from the president's doctor Thursday, calling it a benign and common condition.
In the effort of transparency, the president wanted me to share a note from his physician with all of you today.
The announcement coming after there was growing concern over images of the president showing swelling in his legs and bruising on his hands. Doctors say chronic venous insufficiency is common in people over the age of 70. It happens when there isn't adequate blood flow to the veins in the legs, which can cause swelling.
Essentially, this is a problem with the blood vessels, more specifically a problem with the veins that are in charge of returning blood back to the heart.
And while chronic venous insufficiency is not considered serious, it can be painful. The White House was asked about that, too.
No discomfort from the president at all, and you probably all see that on a day-to-day basis. He's working around the clock.
There are also the bruises on President Trump's hands, which he's been covering up with makeup. The White House doctor says they're consistent with minor soft tissue irritation from handshaking and the use of aspirin.
The president remains in excellent health, which I think all of you witness on a daily basis here.
And in April, President Trump had his annual physical, his doctor releasing a memo saying he was in excellent health and adding that his heart function was normal. Jenna Browder, CBN News.
Thank you, Jenna. Turning to the extreme weather that's creating chaos across the nation. Rainstorms and floods are hitting several states. A heavy thunderstorm causing this empty RV to be swept away in Indiana. In New Mexico, drenching rains making mud flow like water in the streets. While in Kansas City, homes were flooded and people stuck in their cars after 6 inches of rain fell there. Along the Gulf Coast, millions are under threat of flash floods as a tropical disturbance is moving ashore. Some areas could see as much as 15 inches of rain. In Texas, Governor Greg Abbott said the July 4th floods could be the deadliest in the state's history. At least 135 people died, 116 of them just in Kerr County. CBN's Operation Blessing is there helping the survivors. A group of volunteers from a San Antonio ministry joined the team to begin cleaning out a local man's home, which has been in his family for generations. Take a look.
What happened here was my nephew was here with 2 other families, and they were in this house. Their kids were in another place further back. And as the water started rising at 4 o'clock in the morning, they couldn't go get the kids because there was a river between this house and where the kids were. So they had to wait until the water went down. We're thinking that the river right here got to be almost a mile wide. This was just the family legacy. My grandma was here. She had an art studio in the back, and she was the founder of the Hill Country Arts Foundation right down the road.
I've been to Brazil last year helping with the flooded areas, and now we're here in Kerrville, Texas. We're helping out Johnny to clean this house and just help him to come back here.
I'm down with all this stuff, and the people that are coming in help push all the dominoes back up right, and they're helping me get through it a lot. That's what it means to me. It brings my spirits up. When I feel low, then all these people helping out just brings me back up.
Immense suffering over there, Gordon. Operation Blessing being the hands and feet of Jesus all the time.
Yes, we want to strike back. When disasters strike, we want to strike back with love and compassion. That's our motto. That's what we want to do. So whether it's in Texas or all the different floods that are happening, there seems to be disaster after disaster after disaster. But we need your help in order to respond. People are in desperate need. And if you could be a part of it, it's real simple. Pick up a phone and call us and say, I want to be part of the Operation Blessing Disaster Relief Fund. You can write to us at CBN Center, Virginia Beach, Virginia, 23463 is the zip code. Just put Disaster Relief Fund in the memo line of a check. You can also text OBDR to 71777, or you can go to cbn.com. There's a place on the webpage where you can designate your gift to the Disaster Relief Fund. Do it now. Let's help people in desperate need. It's obvious, the need, and so how can we marshal enough help to meet that? So let's all come together and say, yes, let's make a difference. 1-800-700-7000.